decided, and I'm hoping that you can hear me because I'm like washing the dishes. Cooper's here. I got some jazz playing in the background. There's a lot going on in my house today, but I decided to share the incident that happened to me, and I don't know if I shared this before. Cooper, I don't know if I. Y'all hear him? He is worse than a human. He wants attention so badly. Okay, so I decided to share the incident where I had got robbed. I got robbed more than once, actually. But I'm going to share the incident. And I think I shared it a long time ago, like when I first started vlogging. But I'm not 100% sure if I did or I didn't. So you guys know recently I released a vlog. And in the vlog, and it was actually an older vlog. It was like from the summertime, or maybe even right before the summer, maybe like May. And I was just talking about how this man who said that he was homeless, you know, approached me for money. And I didn't have any money, so I didn't give him any money. And then he caught a very nasty attitude, and he kept like following me and whatever, right? So on that video, and I'm going to make this really quick for those who just don't know what I'm talking about. That's the only reason why I'm repeating this. So on that video, I decided to, you know, share that story. And on that video, like within 10 minutes, I had a negative comment with someone telling me that I was a bitch and I was on a high horse because I didn't give this guy money, right? That pissed me off so badly. And usually, and it really, I don't get upset or like offended that quickly. Like, I just don't. I mean, I've just been through way too much in life, and you know, I have too many life experiences here. A lot of stuff just doesn't bother me at all. But sometimes, depending on the day, Cooper, and depending on my mood, you know, some things will get to me. And what got to me the most is that this person decided to call me a bitch. You calling me a bitch? Really? You doing that shit because it's the internet, boo. But, you know, not knowing me, maybe probably never watched any of my other videos and just happened to see that particular video and felt some type of way. And it really bothered me because for those that know me, like, I am super giving. Like, people have told me, like, you really have to stop just being so nice to people. And I'm just like, no, you know, because I know what it's like to have nothing, or to be without, you know, and to struggle and all of that. And I've worked hard to become successful and to get the things that I want, and, you know, to live a good life and all that type of stuff. I educated myself, you know, like, meaning that I paid for school. I didn't have any help. I didn't get any grants or anything like that. My parents, no one helped me. So I know the struggle. When I tell you I know the struggle, I know the struggle. And people will look at me or whomever, not know your background, not know anything about you, and just judge the shit out of you, or, you know, swear that you think you're something that you're not without knowing anything, you know. And it pisses me off. But I know, you know, it's the internet, and that's what happens. People judge you off of 10-minute clips and, you know, 2-minute dialogues and shit like that. So I get it. I get it. But it doesn't make it any less frustrating. So anyway, I'm going to share with you guys the time that I literally got robbed at gunpoint in Brooklyn. And I was maybe 15, maybe 16. So if you don't know, yes, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I actually plan to do a get to know me video on this channel because I just feel like it's kind of necessary, because you get like people viewing. I did my analytics last week, and a lot of people that watch my videos are from like Denmark or Paris, like just a lot of people that I would never think that would be watching my videos. And a lot of my people that are subscribed to me do not watch my videos, but people that just happen to run across my videos, those are the people that are most engaged on my channel, like, you know, people that just run across me and watch the videos or make comment or something like that. So that was pretty interesting to me. You really should check out your analytics, because you can really tell who's supporting you and who's not. So I did that, and my audience base, at least on this channel, is 50-50 male female, and I thought that was pretty interesting as well, because I didn't think any guys were watching me. Like, I'm not over here twerking, you know, like I'm not really doing anything that I would think guys would be interested in. But hey, how y'all doing? No, let me stop. So anyway, okay, so Brooklyn, New York, I want to say 1995 or 96, I'm not 100% sure. I'm so sorry, y'all. He lives here. Like, this is his house too. It's not really much that I could do. But I was dating, not my husband now, another young man, who at the time, like, you know, was the love of my life. And I will always be, I lived in Queens, but I will always be at his house, around his way, hanging out, you know, with him, his sister, who all I still think are really cool. His brother and sister, they were younger than us, but they were super cool, and I still consider them, like, you know, my family or whatever. But so we were all hanging out one day in the summertime, and we were at a local park in Brooklyn, you know, where people go and they play basketball and just hang out in the summer. You know how it is. If you're from the city, if you're from Brooklyn especially, then you know exactly the scene that I'm talking about. And this one particular night, we were all hanging out. Well, his sister wasn't there, but it was me, my boyfriend at the time, his younger brother, I think my boyfriend's friends or something, and we kind of were there late for whatever reason. I mean, like, it was the summertime, but you know, like, you get that feeling like something is just quite, is not quite right. So I started to get that feeling, and I see this guy, like, he just looked, again, you have to pay attention to your environment, and I say this all the time, mostly based off of my own experiences, just growing up in the inner city and just seeing different things. Like, you have to pay attention to your surroundings and your environment, because if not, you could totally become a victim of something horrible. But so I saw this guy, and he just seemed out of place, you know, like, he had like his hoodie on the whole time. He wasn't really speaking to anybody. He kept like looking at people, you know, in a weird way. So I noticed it, but I didn't say anything. I was just like, whatever, you know, maybe he ain't got shit to do, and he just here hanging out on a nice summer night, right? So the park started to get empty. Like, less and less people were in the park. The guys that were playing basketball, they had already left, and so it was maybe about 6 people, I want to say. So at some point, it was me, my boyfriend at the time, and his little brother was shooting like the basketball around, and we were kind of just hanging out on the bench. So I used to wear a lot of jewelry, and real jewelry, real gold. Earrings, you know, the big hoop earrings, freaking bracelets, rings, all this type of stuff. Just way too much jewelry, but I thought I was cute, so that was my style, you know. So and I didn't feel like, I don't know, like, I just didn't feel uncomfortable, you know. When you're a young girl, you're with your boyfriend, you don't think anything's gonna happen or whatever. So yeah, I didn't think anything was gonna happen. So this guy, this is a weird, you know, looking guy, he kind of moseys over to us, and I'm sure my boyfriend at the time, you know, his defenses were up, and my defenses are always up, and it seemed awkward, and he started asking us questions like, oh, do you guys live around here? You know, so I was quiet, but my boyfriend at the time, he was like, you know, why? You know, whatever. And he was like, oh, I thought you guys lived across the street. And then I think my boyfriend at the time said, we don't live across the street, but we live in the area or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. So then my boyfriend at the time started asking him like questions, and then he started to get like agitated, like, oh, I'm the one asking the questions or whatever. And then I was like, uh-oh, like I just felt like this wasn't gonna go right. So I got up and I went to go play with my, you know, my boyfriend's at the time's brother, who was like shooting the basketball around. So I got up, and I was a tomboy, like baggy clothes, sneak Jordans, whatever, like just a little tomboy. And he knew something was wrong too. So he basically was like, well, who is that? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, yo, I got a bad feeling. And I was like, yeah, me too. So then I saw, we just was kind of like deciding to get ready to go. So we both walked over to his brother, and, you know, we're like, all right, you know, let's go. And then as soon as we decided to get ready to go, the guy pulls out a gun. Now, I had never had a gun pulled on me. I mean, you know, it was the hood, but you hear stories, but until it actually happens to you, you know, you don't have any concept of like how you would feel, what you would do, that sort of thing. And I literally thought that I was gonna pass out because my body went into like shock, and I didn't know what to do. So I was in shock. All of us, the boyfriend at the time was like, yo, what the hell are you doing? And the guy was just like, yo, if you don't want to die, if y'all don't want to die tonight, you, shorty, talking about me, you going to take off all that jewelry and you going to give it to me. Like, I was so in shock that I could not move. Like, I was just like, what? Like, I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I'm just like, what? I could give two shits about the jewelry. Like, he could take the jewelry. Like, I'm not trying to die over no jewelry, but I couldn't move. So he was just like, yo, what the fuck? Hurry up, right? So I saw like people kind of walking by, so I'm trying to like take my necklace off, and then he's gonna tell my boyfriend at the time, he was like, yo, you better help her. You better help her take this shit off right now. So he is like upset, you know, and I'm sure that he felt some type of way because he is me, his girlfriend, and his younger brother. He's supposed to kind of like protect us, but what the fuck was he gonna do in a situation where somebody has a gun like pointed to us? There was really nothing he could do but listen to what the guy said. So he's angry and he's trying to help me take off my necklace. So he takes off my necklace. He's like, yo, I want her earrings, I want those rings. It was something that he let me keep, like he was doing me a favor. Basically, I think I had a bracelet on. I don't even think the bracelet was real. Everything else was real. I think the bracelet was like, you know, faux jewelry. But he let me keep that. Maybe he knew. I don't know. He had some vision. He could tell what was real gold or what wasn't. I don't know. But, so basically, he took everything I had except my bracelet. And he told us, like, he had a bag, he put all my jewelry in the bag, and he was pointing a gun at all of us, and he said, now, y'all gonna go sit on that bench, and you gonna count to 30, and you gonna let me walk away, and you're not gonna fucking move until y'all don't see me no more, right? So, we did exactly what he said. Well, me and my boyfriend at the time's younger brother, so we go and sit down. He still has the gun pointed to us. I felt like he was gonna shoot us in the back. Like, I couldn't even walk. They had to like drag me sort of over to the bench because I was just in shock. So I sit down, and you know, my boyfriend at the time, he is like heated, like he's shaking, you know, whatever. But there's nothing he could do. Like, what can you do against somebody with a gun? So the guy, like, he runs out of the park, and then he walks once he's out of the park, and we see him, and then my boyfriend at the time jumps up, leaves me and his younger brother, and he like jumps over the fence, and he like runs off. So I'm like, yo, what the hell are you doing? He was like, nah, it's not going down, right? So me and his younger brother, we was like, yo, let's just go, right? So we didn't follow him because I wasn't jumping over no fence. We wasn't doing all that, so we didn't know where he was going. So we, you know, waited a little longer. I was like, let's give this guy a little more time to get out of the area, and then let's go. Let's, you know, go to their house or whatever. So I was upset. He was upset. Like, I think we were crying. Like, it was just like, we were young kids. Like, the guy wasn't that much older than us. He could have been like 19 or 20 or something like that. But yo, we just got robbed at gunpoint. Like, it was just so freaking crazy. And then I felt the most violated because he didn't take none of their shit. Like, my boyfriend at the time used to wear, like, big gold rings. He didn't take his shit. He took all my shit. So, we get back to their house, right? Me and a younger brother. We walk in, and his sister and her boyfriend were there. Their mother, oh, she was such a nice, sweet lady. She passed away, God bless her soul. But she was like another mother to me, and we were just like adrenaline, you know, running, and we were like, oh my God, we just got robbed, blah, blah, blah. We're telling them the story, we're telling their sister, everybody, and they were like, oh my God, like, oh, call the police or whatever. And then we were like, the guy's gone, like, what, you know, what are we gonna say or whatever. And you know, in the hood, like, I don't know, like, we didn't call the police. Then we didn't know where my boyfriend at the time was. We didn't know where he was. So his mother's like, well, where is he? And then we was like, I don't know. He like jumped over the fence. He started running somewhere. We don't know if he was running after the guy or what the hell he was doing, right? So I want to say, like, then the sister's boyfriend was like, yo, I'm going to look for him because who knows, you know, like what he did. So we were like, all right. So we all kind of was like sitting outside in front of their house waiting for my boyfriend at the time to come back or whatever. And then eventually he ended up coming back with his people. Like, it was like a bunch of dudes, and they were like, Crystal, what happened? So now they asking me, you know, like, he took your what? Blah, blah, blah. So now it's him and his friends. They're going to go look for this dude. Okay, so they're going to go look for this dude and do what exactly? I have no idea. I don't know. And I was just like, no, like, because either somebody's going to end up dead, somebody's going to end up in jail. It's not really worth it. Okay, my jewelry got stolen. Yeah, we got a gun pulled on us. But the only option I felt that was best was to just let it go. And, you know, karma will take care of this guy. And you know what? I mean, maybe it was a lesson learned to me. Don't be wearing all that jewelry, because after that, I became very cautious about, you know, what I wore and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, I didn't want any of them to get in trouble or, you know, hurt behind this other stupid guy who wanted to rob us. So, basically, just like I said, karma took care of this guy, because once word got around the neighborhood that I got robbed and, you know, this guy pulled a gun on me and us, you know, I want to say like maybe 2 weeks later, that guy got shot. So, nope, it wasn't by anybody in our, well, not that I know of. And I think he ended up dying. Like, somebody shot him, and he ended up dying because once, you know how it is in the hood, anywhere really, rumors spread what happened, and he was robbing people all throughout the neighborhood, so people were already looking for him, and he ended up getting shot a few weeks later, and he died. So, whew, that was crazy, and, you know, I hope nobody would ever be in that situation. But, like, it's just like, when I tell y'all, like, I've been through so many things. Like, I've been through a lot of things in my life, and things that you go through, they change you, you know, they help you in the future, you know. It also gives you some lessons. It gives you some knowledge on maybe how to handle future, you know, encounters and things like that. Because I definitely, after that, I definitely was very more cautious with just how I came outside. And, you know, like I said, I always pay attention to my surroundings, because you just never know, you know, you never know who's out there that's crazy or want to hurt you or whatever. And with saying that, and I'm going to end this because already at 20 minutes, you have to also balance that out with not living your life in fear. Because if a lot of bad things happen to you, which I'm not saying a lot of bad things have happened to me, I just have had some life experiences, but it can change you to, like, fear everything. Like let's say somebody else in that situation would have been like, you know what, I'm never going outside again, like I'm never gonna wear jewelry again, I'm not gonna be in a park, just certain things, like I'm just gonna hate everybody that wears hoodies and, you know, stuff like that, like, because that can happen just depending on your circumstances, your experiences. But I never was like that. I wasn't gonna let certain things like change my or influence how I felt about everything else in the world, like, no. But definitely just became more cautious about certain things and just made sure that I paid attention to things that I saw. You know, this is people in, you know, the police academy and the army and things like that. They train you, you know, for certain situations and stuff like that. But I feel like just life in general trains you as well for life in general, you know, just things that you go through. And that's why you guys always hear me say, like, I am just super appreciative for all of my life lessons. Like, I'm just appreciative that I have gone through the things that I have gone through, because I feel like those things have definitely molded me and helped me, and, you know, have made me a better person and able to share certain things, you know, with other people. And I am appreciative, you know, like, of course nobody wants to be robbed at gunpoint. I got robbed again. I'll share that story at another time. But that happened before this robbery. It was a lot of robbing going on in Brooklyn, y'all. And another, like a Samaritan helped me. But I'll tell you guys that story at another time. But yeah, that's it. If you guys, I know I see a lot of people doing like story times and stuff. Like, I'm just gonna share whenever I feel like sharing, like I've been doing. But have any of you guys ever been robbed? Like, has anybody ever, you know, had something violently taken from them or whatever? And if so, like, how did you handle it, and how do you think it changed you? Leave your comments down below. I'll see you guys later. Bye.